Playing against an opponent who constantly pressures you can once again be a nightmare in FIFA 23. No passing options available, the enemy team swarming at you and the constant risk of losing the ball and conceding. What's going on, guys? It's Cruzavi here, back with another video on our channel, and as requested in our comment section under recent videos, I'm going to break down what you can do against pressing in order to outplay your opponent and take advantage of the risks he is taking. One thing I want to state in the beginning is that pressure is always going to make the game hectic and uncontrollable in a way, and there is not going to be the one trick or technique that is always going to work. The game is on knife's edge, and the margins between scoring a decider and conceding the equalizer are going to be small. Yet there are definitely measures you can take into your own hand to turn the odds in your favor. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Firstly, I want to talk about tactics, as they support your build-up play. Having a proper tactic against pressing is mainly important for holding onto a lead in the final minutes of the game when the opponent uses constant pressure. But of course, you can use these as well when you encounter someone playing with press after possession loss or pressure on heavy touch from the get-go. Regarding your formation, there are two key factors in my opinion. Firstly, you want to play a wide formation with wingers in order to spread the pitch and have passing options available on the wing. This will help you immensely in creating space and also converting good build-up combinations into chances to score the decider. Secondly, you don't want to play the same or a similar formation to your opponents. If you're playing a 4-4-2 against an opponent who also plays 4-4-2 or 4-2-2 for example, then every position is going to be mirrored, and therefore you will often have no passing options available, as every of your players has a defender close by who covers him. Instead, play something like a defensive 4-3-3 formation. This will not only give you options on the wing, but also create a man advantage in the center, giving you the key open player you need more often. Of course, you have to pay attention to what the opponent plays as well and adapt if necessary, so always make sure to pay attention to the radar or check the player ratings tab during a pause. Another tip is to position one tall striker that has top quality in the air on the wing, because as I will showcase later, you can always play long balls towards him and try to win the header against the opponent's small fullbacks. When it comes to tactics, unfortunately there is not a lot to do in my opinion. I would advise against using slow build-up, because in theory you should have more options with players coming short, but the practical truth is that you're going to be trapped in your own half more often instead of being able to really break free. So either use balance to have all options available, or use long ball in order to try and play forward quickly, eventually finding the through ball option, because your attacking players are going to make more and better runs. Regarding instructions, you can experiment with come short and target man, but to be honest, it doesn't make much of a difference for me, so you might as well play your normal instructions. Get in behind is the only one I wouldn't use personally, because having your attacking players run away from you can take away key options when trying to play forward. Next up, we'll talk about gameplay specific tips against pressing, but if you're interested in other formation and tactic guides, we have a bunch of those available in our The Guide Plus app. Here you can navigate through various categories and find tips on the things you struggle with most. Or follow our structured courses, track your progress and earn badges for completing a topic. Along the way, different quiz types help you to test your knowledge and learn more efficiently. There is a bunch of free new content in the app, so make sure to check it out today. Now, next up, I will try and break down the process of finding solutions against pressure, step by step from best case to worst case. The first thing you want to immediately scan right after winning the ball back is if you have an option available to play forward. Playing a pass backwards will almost always cause you to be under even more pressure and make finding easy solutions harder. If you're able to play forward right away, you can often skip 5+ attacking players and enter the zone where you have space available and play even numbers against the opponent's remaining defenders. So this is the best case scenario for you and will outplay any defensive pressure before it's even able to amount. Of course, playing forward is not always possible. A lot of the time you're going to win the ball in a crowded area and won't have any passing options available. In such a scenario, you should first try to control the ball away from the crowded danger area and scan the pitch as well as the radar for open players. Open fullbacks and wingers are your first option to distribute the ball. Sometimes you can play one pass backwards and then switch sides right after in order to gain some space. If no one on the wing is available, don't neglect your central players. A lot of opponents will heavily anticipate for you to play through the wing and therefore commit their players to cover there. The moment a central player becomes available, you should not hesitate and play that pass, because oftentimes you will be able to continue playing forward and find a lot of space. From there on, you can finish the attack and hopefully score the decider. Another way that you can kind of produce a passing option yourself is by calling a player short with R1 or RB. Simply aim at the player you want to come towards you and press the button, and this way he will present himself as a passing option and get away from the defender marking him. This is a very powerful tool against pressing that you should always keep in mind. If you can't find a passing option at all, one more idea to try and outplay the opponent with is going for a clever dribbling turn. Faking out your opponent can give you space and new passing angles, and sometimes the entire pressure crumbles by winning that one duel. A dribbling technique that can be useful here is the strafe dribbling with R1 or RB, because it gives you close control over the ball and allows you to suddenly turn around and completely change your passing angles. This can surprise your opponent and make the difference in outplaying him. No matter which solution you find, one very important general tip is that you should always try to play forward. It's much easier to keep the ball in the opponent's half compared to your own. His pressure will be much less effective there and you will have more options available to keep the ball circulating. And then finally, long balls are your last resort when there wasn't any option to play forward quickly and when you also didn't manage to find an open man to continue your build-up with. While receiving the ball with the player you're planning to play the long ball with, you should already scan the radar and try to figure out if there are any players in a good position, having a bit of space away from their defenders. Those players are then going to be your target for a lob pass. This is also where your tall strikers come in. If you have one position on the wing, try to prepare a good lob pass towards him and then make sure to power up enough in order to get the ball to him properly. After that, it's time to pray that you're winning the header. No matter your formation and players, you should always know where the one is positioned who has the best chances to win headers. And always remember that it's better to kick the ball forward far away from your goal than to lose it right in front of your box. So don't hesitate to use long balls. There is no shame in accepting that you're not able to outplay the pressing in this instance. And last but not least, there is one thing we haven't talked about yet: your build-up execution. Of course, your dribbling turns, passing choices and pass setups all need to be clean in order to keep control over what's happening. And luckily for you, we have an entire video exactly about this topic showing you how to fix your build-up mistakes. So make sure to watch that one next, it's linked right here. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. See you then, much love, peace!